All right, Bulls and Bears, BX4 News back in the building, back with another dose. All kinds of good news to get into today. And I say good news because it's all how you look at it, folks. I have, of course, many people down in comments, they say that this is negative, this is doom and gloom, this is depressing. Folks, if you want to be happy, go smoke some stuff and watch cartoons. You'll be laughing, you'll be happy, and there you go. But if you want to know what's really happening, I'm going to give you the real news. Not biased, not based on who's in the office right now or who's the administration in power right now. It's based on numbers, data, facts, right? Things that we can prove, things that we have back up or backing for. And we've got more record evictions in more cities here. We're going to talk about a dire prediction out of the CBO on what's going to be happening in the U.S., but it's not so dire if you look at the other side of things, right? There's people out there that think all this news that I put out there is good news because they say the worse that things get, the closer we're getting towards the end or towards a capitulation point or maybe even a collapse. And then once the collapse happens, then maybe we can pick up the pieces and start over with something better, something, maybe a solid foundation. You see what I'm saying here? So one person's good news is another person's bad news and vice versa, right? So things have to get worse before they get better. We need a wake-up call and we need a collapse moment before people will realize that this whole thing is a big Ponzi scheme. It's a house of cards and none of it makes sense. Trying to prop up the economy on people borrowing endless amounts of money and spending endless amounts of money, even though they can't pay it back. So we're going to talk about all the people that can't pay back their loans. It just got worse. Automobile loans, the college loan situation just got worse. But again, I shouldn't say the word worse because maybe it's better depending on your perspective. You see what I'm saying? All right, so let's go ahead and get into it, folks. And look at what just happened. Another record for people dipping into their retirement accounts. And recently, Congress just made it easier for people to take out emergency loan withdrawals out of their retirement accounts. So early withdrawals are now made easier. Why is that? Because the economy is doing so good? Well, the economy is doing good for some people, and mainly the top 10%, but for the bottom 90%, no. And that's why we're seeing more people dipping into their retirement savings. Again, another record. Something we predicted here for years. We said this is going to continue to get worse until something fundamentally changes, and nothing's really fundamentally changes. I mean, yeah, there's changes every day. You look at new news comes out, but the trend still continues to be more debt and trying to make the economy look like it's growing based on allowing people to take on more debt. And now, of course, this early withdrawals is helping people keep their head above water for longer. How much longer, nobody knows. Some people are already falling behind or going under the surface, falling beneath the surface. They're going underwater, they're drowning because you see the defaults increasing in a few different categories. We're going to talk about that here in a few minutes. But first of all, the Americans dipping into their retirement funds. We have a record amount of hardship withdrawals, and it's up from the previous year. This is the year end 2024. And we told you in the middle of last year, this was going to get worse, and it got worse. Despite it becoming easier to make withdrawals from retirement accounts, this financial advisor, Mr. Bogart, said the uptick shows that Americans are turning to their retirement plans due to mounting financial pressures they face. And that's not me. That's not my opinion. That's what's being said. And the numbers, the data, the statistics say that the amount of people taking out withdrawals has increased. Again, not my opinion. I'm not just out there looking for bad news. This is what's happening. This is how people are staying afloat. This is how people are keeping their head above water, and why you're not seeing a surge in bankruptcies. Bankruptcies are rising. That's another thing that's rising. It's not at record levels yet, but it continues to increase. And it would be much worse. Imagine if it weren't all the programs that we've seen over the past few years that are helping people. Imagine how much worse the bankruptcy situation would be. I think it would be way worse than what we saw in the financial crisis, 2008, 2009 era. On that same vibe, the CBO is out there. That's what the Congressional Budget Office. And what they're saying, they've got a lot of good news here. CBS is reporting here. The U.S. economy is facing a long-term slowdown. crimped by debt and declining birth rates. Declining birth rates, I thought that was good. Do we need more people or do we need less people? Right? Do we need more traffic on the freeway when you're backed up bumper to bumper? Or do we need less traffic? Right? Again, it depends on how you look at it. Some people say a declining population is good because there's too many people already. The freeway is too packed already. The lines are too long. At Disneyland, wherever you go, declining birth rates are good. Other people say, no, this is the end. Declining birth rates are terrible. It means we're not growing. And it goes on here. The U.S. economy could face slower economic growth over the next 3 decades due to weak population gains and increased government spending. Well, I thought they were going to cut spending. I wonder if they saw the cuts that were happening, right? We're supposed to be slashing spending left and right, but yet we're still borrowing more money. The national debt's still exploding. We still have to pass budget increases, right? And pass the higher debt ceiling, right? All that stuff's still going on. Anyways, what do you think about this? Declining birth rate and rising debt. It's going to lead to our demise. Is that what they're saying? Again, depending on how you look at it, that last story could be good news. Any of this could be good news. It depends on what you're looking for. All right, speaking of the cost of living and unaffordability, let's go into housing here. Let's go down to Texas. Travis County, $4.47 million allocated for more affordable housing in Travis County. Oh, $4.47 million. There you go. That's going to fix it, folks. That's about what, 4 houses? Well, maybe not 4 because it's Texas. I'm thinking California prices. Maybe 10 houses in California. They're going to build 10 houses. They got $4.47 million. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but not really. I mean, what's $4.47 million going to do when the overall debt in the United States is more than $100 trillion when you add all the different types of debt, consumer debt, corporate debt, the federal debt, $100 trillion, more than $100 trillion total. All right, folks, let's take a pause on the news here for a second, which is really not a pause. This is actually still news, but different than the article thing. Let's look at a video real quick. This is an Uber Eats delivery driver. And what they're doing, of course, more people than ever are working these side hustle jobs, working multiple jobs, more people than ever, second jobs. And Uber and food delivery is a big one. Uber Eats, other food services. I can't think of the other ones right now, but there's a few different ones. Well, what they're doing is they're doing so many deliveries, they're not shutting off their vehicle. And here's what happened to one of these drivers in particular. Now, let's point out all the wrongs that are being done here, all the things this person's doing wrong, all right? All right, first of all, let's rewind it. You see these characters walking by here? Are you going to leave your car running? Right? I don't leave my car running even in nice neighborhoods because I know there could be a desperate person lurking around the corner, and I don't leave my car running. Right? Especially if you have kids in it. She probably doesn't have her kids with her because she's delivering food. But anyways, here we go. Come on. They had hoods on. What do you expect? There she goes walking down the stairs, wobbling down the stairs. She gets to the fence. Call the cops. Call the cops.
Somebody just stole my car. Do you know him?
She says, do you know him? Oh, yeah. I'm screaming at him because I knew them.
No. They stole her car. Oh, somebody just stole my car.
Yeah, these guys, you see these people walking by, you're going to leave your car running, right? Or maybe, just to be fair, maybe when she got out of the car and decided to leave it running, she didn't see these people, but just don't leave your car running. I know a lot of people do it, especially in cold climates. They want to warm up their car. And in some states, they even made it against the law to leave your car running. 1, they said it was a waste of fuel. 2, they said it caused an increase in auto thefts, which then made everyone else's car insurance rates go up. Right, so you can kind of see the point where you have to pass a law because people are still doing this type of thing. But in cold climates, and I used to do this, even in California, I still do this sometimes in the morning. I'll start my car, but I live in a private drive type of situation where no one's ever going to steal my car. But people are doing it like on these roads where there's lots of pedestrians, and they're leaving their car running in parking lots while they go into the gas station. And of course, the Uber Eats thing, they're leaving their car running. So do they have to make it illegal for anyone to leave their car running? Right? Some people say that's an invasion of privacy. That's taking away people's rights. Others might say, yeah, this makes sense because you're basically giving a free pass for someone. You're giving a free pass. You're giving a welcome mat. You're putting out a welcome mat for thieves to come in and take your vehicle. Right, again, both sides of the story. I'm not saying which side is right or wrong. I'm just saying it's nice to look at it and talk about it. What do you think about that? Let me know down in the comments. Should it be against the law for people to leave their car running when they're not in it? Period. And I think the person right here that was screaming at these people, I don't think she's going to be leaving her car running anymore, right? How many Uber Eats deliveries is it going to be to pay for the deductible for this insurance claim? I hope she has insurance. She shouldn't be driving without insurance. So granted that she has insurance, or assuming that she has insurance, how much is her deductible? If she has comprehensive coverage, that's what covers theft. And it's typically like a $250 or $500 deductible. It's a lot of Uber Eats deliveries, folks, just for that deductible. All right, people, back into the news. Housing. Let's go back down to Texas. Record evictions in Houston. Eviction process has Houston faces record high evictions. Another day, another city, we see record highs everywhere you go. Again, something we said was going to happen. We said back in 2020 when they introduced all the programs to stop evictions, we said, this is just temporary. This is not going to fix the long-term problem. This is not going to make affordability any better. It's going to temporarily stop people from getting evicted. But what do we say on this channel, right? Many times we said when these programs end, it's just going to resume. And when it resumes, it's going to be all-time high, worst case scenario, all-time highs. Again, here we go. We're proven right once again. So for those saying that this is just negative news, doom and gloom, folks, this is economic reality, right? Economic reality. All-time high record evictions. And this is just one city. I can pull up many other cities where we're seeing these records being set. We're setting records, but in all the wrong ways. All right, speaking of all-time highs and record numbers here, nearly 10 million student loan borrowers risk credit hit due to late payments. This is out of, let's see, this is called the Examiner. Here's this guy. I owe $165,000. Look at that. $165,000. Okay, first question is, why aren't you at work, dude? This is not funny. Right? If you're someone under this type of debt, this is not funny. But let's just try to have a little fun, dude. Why aren't you at work? If you owe $165,000, holding a sign on the street is not helping you pay off the $165,000. Or is he hoping for forgiveness? If he holds the sign up long enough, they're going to pass a sweeping student loan debt forgiveness plan. Maybe that's his thinking. I don't know. And another person behind him says, I am not profit. I am not profit. Yes, you are. Do you want to see the profits of some of these people that are raking in the profits on your student loan, right? The loan companies, of course, the institutions and the colleges making the money off of tuition because people can borrow the money, right? The more money people can borrow, the better your business is, basically. And to further prove that point, just imagine if credit cards were shut off tomorrow. If people couldn't go into debt or swipe the cards, you would see everything, the entire economy would collapse because this whole thing is what? Propped up on borrowed money. It's lending, banks lending out money, spending, people spending the money that they don't have or borrowed money, and then pretending that the economy is great. What next? National Mortgage Professional, late pays rising for student and auto loans, of course. But it gets worse. Auto loans are now setting records as well. We talked about that before, but guess what? It just got worse. And we see it right here. Auto loan delinquencies surge to a record high. Another record high, folks. And you would think with auto loan delinquencies being at record high, would banks normally want to be more cautious? Would they want to maybe stop giving out so many loans, right? If you ran a lending institution, if you ran a bank under normal circumstances, if you saw record delinquencies in your loan portfolio, would you continue to loan out more loans, or would you maybe pull back on the lending, maybe be a little more strict on the lending? Well, look what's happening. They're still giving out loans, and here's a chart of motor vehicle loans owed. And if you look all the way to the upper right here, it's still increasing, folks. I mean, the rate of increase has slowed down, but it's kind of like inflation. It's still going up, right? The rate of increase may be slowing down, but it's still going up. Let's zoom in on a 5-year chart here. So we see, of course, 2020, it spiked like we've never seen before, starting to slow down a little bit, but still going higher, even amid record delinquencies. Make it make sense, folks. Make it make sense. So if you ran a bank, would you still loan out money even though delinquencies are at a record high? Well, maybe there's something going on that allows banks to keep loaning out money, even though there could be half of their loan portfolio default, and they would still keep on loaning out money. That's what it seems like. It seems like there's a never-ending backstop for these banks. Right, and I say seems like. Some of you right now are saying, of course. I say seems like it because you can't really predict if it's never-ending, because that means never means forever, right? We don't know if things are going to change in the future, but for now, we do see that things are being propped up. It looks like the banks are being propped up. They're being allowed to keep on loaning out money, even with record defaults, even with near all-time low savings rates in the banks. And I think we know the story behind that, folks. It all goes back to the system of money. It's no longer backed by gold. It's just digits on a screen. It's just fiat currency. And why do you think the price of gold is spiking, folks? Because all this is so insane, so unsustainable. Walmart CEO came out and said customers are exhibiting stressed behaviors. And it's already tanked the company's valuation by $22 billion. That's how Fortune put it. And this is on the back of a story we just talked about here recently about how consumer confidence dropped to a 12-year low. Walmart's market cap's dropped by $22 billion after the news broke that consumer confidence number plunged to a 12-year low. The CEO came out and said he noticed stress behavior from consumers who were more budget constrained. I was at Walmart probably last week, and people were shopping. They looked pretty stress-free. Maybe they didn't want to show their stress in public, maybe when they went home and cried, but people that were shopping and buying stuff and swiping cards looked pretty stress-free. Of course, nobody wants to cry in public, so that's maybe why. All right, people, can it get any crazier than it is now? Yes, it can get crazier. Will there be a breaking point? At some point, probably. How will it happen? Does anybody know? Please let me know down in the comments. Well, let's talk about this story here. This is out of San Diego. If you thought California couldn't get any more loony, any more wacky, what's happened here? The city of San Diego has just banned digital-only grocery store coupons. The city council approved the ordinance, which is reportedly the first in the country. It all starts in California, doesn't it? All this craziness. To give consumers equal access to supermarket savings. So because some people didn't have access to digital coupons, now they're making it so these stores cannot do digital coupons because some people don't have a computer. Some people don't have a cell phone or a smartphone. The city council in California, San Diego, voted unanimously, I can't say any words today, unanimously, an ordinance requiring grocers to offer digital discounts or coupons to also make those same coupons available in paper. I thought we were supposed to go paperless and have clean up the economy, clean up the environment, because less paper, less trash, less waste, less trees being shut down. So now they're going on the other direction. Now they're saying it can't be digital. You've got to also put out paper coupons for every digital coupon you put out there. So I thought we were trying to save paper. I thought we were trying to save trees. What's up, California? What's going on? All right, what do you think about this? Should they make every coupon digitally, also paper coupons, or is that just too much? The ordinance takes aim at the growing trend where major chains hide discounts. They're saying they're hiding discounts behind digital walls. That's one way to put it. Making it harder for seniors, low-income families, and those without reliable digital access to afford basic necessities. That's what the council members that voted on this are saying. The city's ban on digital-only deals comes at a time when grocers are grappling with how to reach price-sensitive consumers amid ongoing concerns about the cost of food. Folks, the days where you go get your Sunday newspaper and you start clipping coupons, some people still do that. We still get coupons in the mail, right? I probably wouldn't eat at Subway sandwich shop if it weren't for the coupons, because a footlongs now is at $8? It used to be $5. What was a $5 footlong, 5 years ago? Maybe 6 years ago? Now it's like almost $8, maybe more for some of the subs. I don't eat at Subway at all if it weren't for a coupon. Some of those are paper, but they're also online. So there's a place for paper and digital, but should you not be allowed to put out a digital coupon just because you don't want to put it out in paper form? All right, make it make sense, folks. I mean, let me know down in the comments, of course, California folks, where I'm at. The loonies, am I loony? Maybe I'm loony with everybody else in California. Please let me know down in comments. We'll read your comments here, and I appreciate you supporting this channel. Please give us a thumbs up and subscribe. That button right down here, right below my finger. Please keep this channel alive right here, right below my finger. Is that where it's at? Thanks everybody for watching. Help keep this channel alive. Keep stacking, everybody. Let me know what you think about this. Peace. Bye for now, everybody.